Hello everyone. So today we are going to talk about the 10 misconceptions that people normally have about Algeria as a country. So guys, this is Eugene the African Kid, and today I decided to go to Algeria, the northern part of Africa, a little bit and address some issues that I believe that people have always been overlooking. And guys, my request is, if you're watching this video for the first time, or maybe you'll watch it and get interested in it, kindly subscribe to my channel if you'll be watching for the first time, or you can share with people so that we may spread this awareness to stop people believing in this misconception. So to get right over it, today we are going to talk about our first reason as to why there are 10 misconceptions about Algeria. Misconception number 1: the whole of Algeria is a desert. People believe that the whole of Algeria is a desert. While it might be true that majority of the parts of Algeria is desert, because 90% is entirely covered by the Sahara Desert, which is true, but it is not entirely all parts of Algeria covered by the desert. You should also see we have different landscapes in the northern part of Algeria, which covers places like the Atlas Mountains in the north. So it is not entirely that Algeria is covered by the Sahara Desert. I also say there are regions such as the Mediterranean Valley, like the Mzab Valley, which is not entirely a desert nation, as people usually say. So Algeria is not an entirely desert. Kindly debunk that into your mind, and if you haven't done your research, go and see. Even if majority of the parts is covered by the desert, I mean 90%, which, yeah, it's quite a long part, but the 10% which is remaining, it's not desert. We have the valleys, we have the mountains, we have the Mzab from the coastal region, we have, different landscapes which like the mountains which are in the northern part of Algeria. So debunk the idea that majority of parts of Algeria is a desert. Let's go to number 2. Number 2, there is this belief that Algeria is always unsafe for tourists. While in the past there might have been issues, but this is not the truth. We have different places in Algeria where tourists are feeling safer. Also, the Algerian government is working hard to ensure that security has been put for the tourists. So debunk the idea that Algeria is unsafe for tourists. I myself have seen a couple of people going to Algeria. I've seen different people going to Algeria, different types of people going to Algeria, and they say that Algeria is becoming one of the safest places that they have ever been. So if a person says that Algeria is unsafe for tourism, kindly ask them, then who are the people who always go to Algeria and give positive feedbacks? Alternatively, if you have time and you want to go to Algeria, don't listen to people, just go and see it for yourself and see if it is true. Also, you can find source materials from the internet regarding the security issues. Try look what has always been happening in Algeria. But I believe that it is not unsafe for tourists. It is a misconception because of the Sahara Desert, regarding the stories of Berbers and the Tuaregs. I believe that's what makes people believe that Sahara Desert it's not unsafe for tourism, but it is safe for tourism because, as I told you, we have other landscapes which majorly the Sahara Desert includes one of the biggest tourist attractions with ancient, data that shows the trades which were happening in northern part of Africa, including the Berbers and the Tuaregs. So guys, Algeria is safe for tourists. Number 3, there's this misconception that all Algerians are Arabs. Yeah, it's always been saying that, you're going to meet Arabs. Why are you going to Algeria? There are no other ethnic groups. Well, I'll tell you this, we have other ethnic groups. While it's true that Algeria has Arabs as people with the majority ethnic group, but we have other ethnic group called the Amazigh. I don't know if it's the correct spelling, which is also have its diverse culture, and people can relate. And we have other small minority ethnic groups in Algeria, different people, and you know that people are coming to Algeria, a new population is being formed. So debunk the idea that all Algerians are Arabs. Not all Algerians are Arabs. We have Algerians, Berbers, and we have Algerians who are Arabs, which is true. So doesn't mean that all Algerians in Algeria are Arabs. While we also have other ethnic groups, small ones, but it's true that majority of them are Arabs, but not all of them are Arabs. I believe that that's what makes the difference between saying that the entire population belongs to a given group. If we have other minority ethnic groups which also have the diverse culture and different representation in Algeria, so I believe that Algeria is diversified in as much as they have a major group being Arabs. The fourth misconception. People still think that Algeria doesn't have any historical or cultural significance, which is so sad. Well, I'm here to tell you that Algeria boasts UNESCO cultural sites such as Timgad and Casbah, which holds a lot of cultural values, which holds a lot of historical values to Algerians. So debunk the fact that people say that Algeria doesn't have any historical heritage, while these two sites offers historical heritage, which makes most of visitors actually come to Algeria. So when a person says that Algeria doesn't have any historical significance or cultural significance, ask them, what about the UNESCO historical sites such as the Casbah, and Timgad? Ask them that question. So I believe that every African country has its significance, historical or cultural, significance, and these can be located to different architectural sites. It can also be different through museums. Yeah, for the Algerians is the UNESCO. So guys, tell me what you think in the comment section. Tell me anything new that I haven't included while saying the any historical significance of Algeria. I believe that every country has its own historical significance in the country. So if a person comes and says that a given country doesn't have historical significance, remember we have the Arabs. They have a rich historical significance in the northern part of Africa. Remember the trans-Saharan trade. We can trace that from, given that stories. So we have a lot of cultural traces that you can do about Algerians, leave alone the UNESCO Timgad and Casbah. We have different things that we can also remember Algeria as an historical site or as a cultural site. The fifth misconception. Algeria has a lot of political instability, constant fights, constant, while this is a misconception, doesn't mean that Algeria has always been a political instability country. While the country is trying to address political reforms which enforces peace in the country, we can also consider that as a first step to ensure that the country is safe. And it doesn't mean that it is entirely that Algeria is unsafe. So there is this narrative that the northern part of Africa has always been having fight. Yes, while that has always been happening, but Algeria is working hard to strike a balance between what people see as its political instability and what they can do as a country or as a nation to build peace in the country. So it is a misconception that there is enormous political instability in Algeria. People keep fighting. There are a lot of bombings there. While that's not true, that's a lie. Algeria is working so hard to, foster peace and ensure political stabilities through political reforms, which they do during the elections, just like any other country. And people are civilized, people are peaceful. And also, as I've told you, people have gone to Algeria. I've said that Algeria is a good place. Well, with majority of people being Arabs, yes, but it is a peaceful place for the existence of, Africans or any other group of people who wants to explore some parts of Africa. Maybe you are outside Africa and you want to go to, Algeria. Go to Algeria and see for yourself. Don't listen to people what they tell you that it is unsafe there. Oh, Algeria does what? Oh, Algeria does what? You will not find people that you resonate with. Go and see for yourself. Algeria is for Africans. So if you find time, go and visit Algeria. This misconception. Algeria has limited education opportunities. They are saying that most of Algerians are not educated because there are limited education opportunities in Algeria. Why I'll tell you that this is a misconception. Now, people normally relate Arabs with uneducated people. Well, that is a misconception. Let me tell you one thing. Algeria is working so hard to put education as a matter of fact free. They are offering free education in Algeria. So tell me why people will think that Algeria is still lacking behind educationally, while it's striving so hard to put educational facilities for people of Algeria. So I believe that one of the most economic and development of a country is education. So with that being said, Algeria is working so hard, and it's one of the countries with stable economies. So education being part of it. So it is a misconception that people normally say that Algeria lags behind educationally. Well, I'm going here to tell you that that's a lie. That's not true. Go and see for yourself. People also say that Algeria only relies on gas and oil as their main economic power in the country. While it is true that majority of their products is gas and oil, of course, but it is not entirely what they deal in. They have different sectors such as agriculture, tourism, and other different sectors that they engage in. They do this to reduce the release of hydrocarbon in Algeria, because you realize that gas and oil, especially oil, has a lot of concentration of carbons. So to reduce the use of hydrocarbons in the release of hydrocarbons in the environment and dangerous harmful gases in the country, they are diversifying in different sectors such as tourism, agriculture, and different sectors that they feel like might help them reduce the carbon formation in the country. Well, this is important because it also shows how diversified the country is, and I will not buy the narrative that Algerians only deal with gas and oil as most of people believe. I know that's their strongest economic point, but it is not entirely they deal in gas and oil as people say. So guys, also tell me what you think in the comment section about that misconception. Algerians are entirely nomads. That's a misconception that people say. Of course, I know there's existence of Tuaregs. Why? Nomads, true. But remember that every society is evolving and people are migrating to urban centers. The new populations are coming to Algeria. That's a total indicator that Algeria is changing. And we as people of Algeria, it is not entirely a nomadic place where people are coming and it's only nomadic activities that are happening. Remember, there is rural to urban migration, and with these urban settlements, people are living in urban centers, and people living in urban centers does not practice nomadic, type of life. So this is a misconception that has always been there, and I believe this is a narrative because of they believe that Tuaregs and Berbers also participated in the travel of nomadic type of life. But well, I'm here to tell you that there is a change because people are migrating to urban centers, and this narrative is not true. This narrative is changing. So tell me what you think in the comment section. This is Eugene the African Kid, and I was to tell you the misconceptions that people have about Algeria as a country. So until then, See you in my next video. If you watch this video until here, kindly make sure to subscribe to my channel. This is Eugene the African Kid, and hope to see you in my next video. Peace, love, and harmony. Salute.